Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And we have to talk about XRP for just a split little second. Now, there's something really interesting that came to my attention. And it mostly came from Mr. Jeremy Hogan. He said, in her recent order, the judge cited the Marine Bank versus Weaver case at least 3 times when she was discussing what a reasonable XRP purchaser believed when they were buying XRP or when they bought XRP issue. It's a Supreme Court case which asks whether the thing sold was commonly thought of as a security. Now, Fred Rispoli, another lawyer, had to say this. This is another reason why I'm not 100% sure that Ripple cannot just win outright. I still think it's a long shot that Ripple will win straight away. But Judge Torres sprinkled a lot of warnings to the SEC that a total loss for them at summary judgment is possible. Oh, the anticipation. And yeah, Jeremy has been spilling a lot of the beans here recently with a lot of facts. Let's take it a couple of steps back right here from a couple days ago here. We obviously had our most recent expert reveal, little settlement of sorts, and then came his little tweet, as I just described, about what the judge has been citing all of a sudden, which is quite peculiar. And a couple of hours ago, some new bombshell hit. What am I talking about? Well, we warned. Who are we talking about? Mr. Jeremy Hogan. Let's listen in on this one.
The change to staking creates a problem first because the validators who stake their Ethereum do so with an expectation that their stake will earn them a return. That's the whole point of it. So that goes to the expectation of profit prong. And in its latest guidance released back in 2019 for digital assets, the SEC stated that when talking about whether there is a reliance on others to make profit, that an active participant is responsible for the development, improvement, or enhancement, operation, or promotion of the network, particularly if purchasers of the digital asset expect an AP, active participant, to be performing or overseeing tasks that are necessary for the network or digital asset to achieve or retain its intended purpose or functionality. Well, isn't the upgrade to Ethereum 2.0 exactly the type of thing that would raise the SEC's alarm system? Get the old Death Star fully functional, ready to destroy. Definitely seems like the SEC might see a promotion and improvement of the network by a semi-centralized entity with the rollout of 2.0. And now you have the profit to the stakers added to the equation. With that being said, Ethereum 2.0 injects a lot of attention and danger, and it gets a legal brief's danger rating of 6 out of 10. Just ignore that TV stuff. Our production level is basically Google Images search level.
You can't hate the guy. He does such funny stuff in a very informative manner, which is why I love the man. Had a good interview with him. I really think those guys are awesome over at Hogan and Hogan. Anyway, he warned about something a little while ago, and to be a little bit more specific, I posted this over on Twitter, I think, a while ago already. But what was so peculiar, let me quickly see if I'm able to find it here. Here we go. Next article, here we go. The fact that KuCoin, a crypto exchange, was getting sued was one thing. But apparently, the Attorney General in New York was suing KuCoin for the fact that she was using the platform, was able to use it, even though it didn't have the proper license. That wasn't it, though, fully. They didn't just want to go after that. They wanted to go after everything after diving a little bit deep. And now they're alleging, apparently, as they did with CoinX, that Ethereum is also, or at least might be, a security, which is such a peculiar endeavor. This enforcement action is one of the first times a regulator is claiming in court that Ethereum, one of the largest cryptos available, is a security. The petition argues that ETH, just like Luna and UST, is a speculative asset that relies on the efforts of third-party developers in order to provide profit to the holders of ETH. Because of that, KuCoin was required to register before selling ETH, Luna, or UST. And that's what they're going on about here, which is quite crazy. I know it's not necessarily here the whole ETH 2.0 story like Jeremy talks about here, but the point is still quite clear. They're going after him. Anyway, in regards to his previous tweet, Huber, Mr. Leerzite, had to say, Jeremy, there's no shame in admitting that you made a mistake in declaring your video on summary judgment motions as your last. Even though your opinion on the verdicts is what we were actually waiting for, No one will hold it against you if you make another video or two, I promise, because right now, right now as we stand, the situation with the lawsuit is quite strange. We didn't expect this many lawsuits to come after or at all these different platforms. We kind of didn't expect a couple of these pivots to happen. Like, for example, the whole collapse of a lot of these crypto banks, a couple more different crypto cases, them going and subpoenaing a lot of different earn, lend protocol, all that type of stuff. But then also such a claim against Ethereum. Things are changing quite drastically in the space. And especially if you look back at when the whole lawsuit started for Ripple and when we were basically in the phase of going towards this end of things. It's just really crazy how much stuff has happened in the last 2 years since Ripple got this lawsuit going. By the way, a little fun fact. Not sure if you guys know. I'm not sure how familiar all of you guys are with Ripple, but hopefully by now you guys know Navin. I think his name is Navin. There we go. Gupta. Yes, this must be him right here. What does he do? Major guy at Ripple. Met him yesterday. It was pretty funny, actually. He's an awesome guy. Like a really ridiculously chill guy, if you understand my drift. Like very often, as I've stated before, when I've met the Ripple employees, I was not too amazed. They've not been too amazingly nice. But this guy was awesome. I just wanted to quickly say that because it popped up in my head. One of the guys at Ripple, awesome man. You can't see it perfectly. Decided to go for a nice little picture too with another Japanese YouTuber whose name I've forgotten because I'm, yeah, awesome. Anyway, to not stay too far on the topic, because I just wanted to say that there's so much that's changed in this little midst of things. There's a couple other things which are happening. Circle USDC held an undisclosed amount of cash in Silicon Valley Bank. That could be kind of scary because Silicon Valley Bank is having a lot of troubles. They're going down. Now, in regards to Silicon Valley Bank, there's two more fun things. Apparently, the CEO sold about $3.5 million worth of stock in the past 2 weeks. That's sketchy level 99. And apparently as well, 1 month ago, Mr. Jim Cramer urged investors to buy Silicon Valley Bank stock. Today, the bank was closed by California regulators, making it the second largest banking failure in U.S. history, which I think is quite peculiar that this guy can be off so often. I mean, I don't know how Mr. Jim Cramer can be wrong and very wrong this many times. I would understand if he was wrong 30% of the time, but it seems he's right 30% of the time. It is really crazy. Maybe he throws out just so many hot take predictions that, percentage-wise it still evens out, but it doesn't seem that way. It just seems he has some of the hottest takes, and they're just stupid. Anyway, Mr. Biden says his economic plan is working. We've seen recently here all his different moves towards crypto and towards taxes. He wants to go for some crazy new taxes, a lot of it. And I can't say I'm a very big fan of any of it, but it's the way in which he's doing things right now. It's the way the policy in the U.S. The policy is in the U.S. And then one more article I thought was fun. The SEC is like a torn condom. All the discomfort of protection without none of the actual protection. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Not right now, though. So, yeah, that's it for today's video. A little update on the lawsuit. Again, at the end of the day, we all know, I think, we're all on the same page of, hey, Ripple is eventually going to win. It just depends on how long it's all going to take. We don't know if it's outright or with a couple of different steps. And, well, there are so many different predictions out there. For example, this guy here, Mr. Scott Chamberlain, a former lawyer, went to go fully in-depth about all the different options and outcomes of the Ripple case. We've talked about it before, though. He says, love this threat. He focused on something I had given only light thought to, which is partially because this case is between Ripple, Brad, and Chris Larson and the SEC. It's not just Ripple side SEC. There's a couple of different moving players and all that. And so there are so ridiculously many different outcomes. And just to quickly read, with a decision in the SEC versus Ripple seemingly nigh, I thought I'd do the stupid thing and predict 5 outcomes. 1. Summary judgment for Chris and Brad. I don't think the SEC has anywhere near the evidence to support they knowingly or recklessly sold an unregistered security. 2. Summary judgment for Ripple in respect of overseas sales. Ripple sales of XRP on overseas exchanges are not within the court's jurisdiction. A wholly new precedent would be set to deem those domestic transactions finalized in the U.S. 3. Summary judgment dismissing the part of the case that asserts XRP itself as a security. No president supports the digital asset itself being a security, and this claim was a contrivance for the SEC not to have to prove each sale and to avoid the problem of overseas sales. 4. What proceeds is a limited case about whether any of Ripple's sales of XRP in the US involved an unregistered investment contract. And 5, because of 2 and 3, the case settles. I happen to believe the SEC underestimated that most of Ripple's sales occurred overseas, on overseas exchanges, through algorithmic trading. And once overseas and secondary market sales are excluded, there's insufficient meat left on the bone. Yeah, that's all I can kind of say here. There's such an interesting little debate, though, that's going to be flowing in now because of what we're seeing with ETH. Somebody says, hope that all the ETH money flows right into the newly cleared XRP because, well, maybe they're going to go after ETH and actually clear XRP, which could be interesting. We're just watching it all. And yeah, I'll just keep it at that, guys. That was it for today's little crypto update. Again, I'm still extremely bullish on XRP. It is right now the biggest holding in my portfolio. And if you guys are interested in trading it, there will be links down below. And that's it for today's video. Not a financial advisor. Do as you please and do some research. I didn't say that the right way, but it's okay.